Okay, welcome everyone. I'm Susie McCrae. I'm a proud global founder from Amherst, Massachusetts and the United States. And I'd like to welcome everyone to today's Let's Bless Our Loved Ones guest webinar, where you're going to hear about a business called OnPassive. I'd like to introduce the person doing the presentation, as we call it. It's really his story about OnPassive. Charles has been in the IT information technology arena for over 30 years. He has been a founding member with OnPassive for I think about 3 years now. He understands this company. He understands the impact that this revolutionary company is going to have to the entire globe and to all of us. And it's my pleasure to introduce him. Sit back. You're going to enjoy hearing from Charles and his story, and I'll be back for Q&A. Okay, so thanks everyone.
Thank you very much, Susie. That was an elaborate introduction there. You just made, I feel like blushing, right? Even though you can't see it. Thanks, Larry, for the great introduction, welcoming our guests. Want to welcome our founders here today. Pardon me if my voice is not the best. I was up late last night in the funeral service, so but I welcome our founders. I welcome especially our guests here today. And if you're a guest, I just want you to count yourself very, very blessed, okay? Because we are in a once in a lifetime kind of a business, and we are about to take off in high speed. And the way I present this to you, like Susie said, I will be telling you my story. And Mark Twain once said, as long as you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. So I generally try not to remember. I just say it, the truth, right? Now, Susie said earlier, I've been in the IT industry for over 30 years, and she's right. I've been in the United States for over 36 years, and I've been working like everybody else, sometimes 2 jobs just to make ends meet. Now, for the most part of those years, I've worked in the IT industry. So I've been making what they call relatively good money, okay? But even with that, I just had a job, right? We call job, J-O-B, just over broke. By the time I'm done paying my bills, not much is left. And I have a big family in the United States, outside of the United States. So I've always looked for extra money to be able to help out. Long time ago, I ran into the works of Mr. Warren Buffett, one of the wealthiest gentlemen in the planet. And he said, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you're going to work until you die. Now, this statement has always resonated in my head. So when I go to sleep, I'm thinking, am I making money or am I not? Now, of course, if I feel like I'm not making money, I just don't get a very good sleep. So I've been looking for ways to make money in my sleep, right? One good day, close to 5 years ago, I decided to tender my resignation for corporate America. Not because I had money, because as a matter of fact, I recall a colleague of mine looking at me and saying to me, Charles, you must be very lucky. You must have saved up enough money to be retiring this early. And I said to him, on the contrary, I've been working for so long and I just can't seem to save up the kind of money that I would like to. So there's got to be a better way. I also remember reading from Robert Einstein, who said, you keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. That is his definition of insanity. And I agreed with him. So I decided to do things differently. I resigned, got myself an office space in Greenbelt in the United States, just so I can get a clear head. And one good day, it's close to 3 years ago, a good friend, trusted friend of mine, walked into my office and said to me, Charles, you need to take a look at this. I have this opportunity, it's gonna blow your mind away. And just so you know, prior to retiring, I had been studying rigorously the behavioral patterns of successful people. And one of them is this: you bring them an opportunity, they will take a look at it, so inside out, so that they can make an informed decision. So I pretended to be like one of them that day, and I told my friend, of course, I will take a look at it. But first, I have 3 questions for you. Prerequisites. Prerequisites. It's gonna save you time or save me time, right? Question number 1. This opportunity that you are bringing to me today, if I do not recruit, if I cannot sell to even one person, am I gonna make money? And when I say money, I mean real money. I've been blessed enough to see chop change. I mean enough money to give me financial freedom. Now, if you recall, I was retired, so I had time freedom, but I did not have that very elusive financial freedom, because when you have time freedom and financial freedom, that is when you can say you have total freedom. So I was still looking for financial freedom. So I asked my friend, if I cannot sell or I cannot recruit, am I gonna make that kind of money? And he said to me, Charles, do not worry. You're gonna be able to make enough money to leave a legacy for your children, your children's children, and beyond. That sounded like music to my ears. And I said, okay, let's go to question number 2. With this opportunity, am I gonna have to come out of pocket every month, month in, month out, to pay some bill? In the industry, they call it ownership. Am I gonna have to pay a monthly ownership? He said to me, Charles, guess what? Once this company launches, you come out of pocket once, one more time, and that's it. I was beginning to like the sound of this. And I said to him, let's go to question number 3, the third and final question. The last, but certainly not the least. This company that you are bringing to me today, do they have a legitimate, viable product? By legitimate, I mean legal. By viable, I mean necessary. Something that mankind, you and I, we need on a daily basis. Think about your cell phone. In this day and age, if you don't have your cell phone, you're not gonna die. Life is just gonna be miserable. In fact, sometimes I wonder how we used to live without cell phones. Think about internet access, Wi-Fi. Everywhere you go, nowadays, the first thing you want to know, what's your Wi-Fi password, right? With no Wi-Fi, guess what? You're not gonna die. Life is just gonna be miserable. That's what I mean by viable. So I asked my friends, and by the way, if a company doesn't have viable products, I just want to mention this, that company is going to fold. It's just a matter of time. Believe me. There are no 2 ways out of it. So when I asked my friend that day, does this company have a legitimate, viable product? He said to me, Charles, you have an extensive IT background. You can understand these products better than me. So I said, okay. I went, took a look at the products, and I came back to him and I said, my good friend, should this company succeed in what they're trying to do, we're gonna have ourselves an internet quake. We're gonna have a shakeup of the internet. Now, does internet quake exist? I don't know. I was just thinking of earthquake and it just popped up in my head. But I also said to him, we're gonna have to wait for the long haul. We're gonna have to wait a long time, 5 years, maybe more. And he didn't like that because He's like you and I. We love instant gratification. We love money now. And so he said to me, Charles, why would you say that? I said, well, you told me to take a look at the products, and I did. And I believe I understand what they're doing. They're using some new technology, something called artificial intelligence, AI for short, in every step of the development process. My friends, AI is a disruptive technology. What do I mean by that? Technology that comes every once in a while, and it will change the way we do things. We have no choice, just like the internet. In other words, it will disrupt our lives. AI is yet the most disruptive technology mankind has ever known. But AI is very involved. It involves machine learning. It involves empirical data. It involves millions upon millions of lines of coding. So for those of us, or those of you who are into software development, you agree with me. That is time consuming. And that is why I told my friend, we're going to have to buckle up. We're going to have to wait a while. But I also told him, I don't care how long it takes. I want to be part of this opportunity right now. I also told him, it doesn't matter what cost. What is the cost? So I asked him, how much is it going to cost me to be part of this opportunity today? And I was thinking maybe $20,000, maybe even more. But he looked up at me and said, Charles, believe it or not, all you're going to need is $97. $97. I was just flabbergasted. I couldn't believe him. I said, you've got to be kidding, right? He said, nope, I'm dead serious. And I said, okay, well, here's my credit card. Put it on there. Thankfully, in the United States, we don't need cash. Oh, we need credit cards. But by the time we were done, it had costed me $102. So yes, there is a $5 fee or charge that the banks would throw in there once you're using credit or debit card. Big deal. I told him, consider that dinner for two. But I also told him, I do not have 5 years or more to be monitoring this business because I've got to put food on the table. I said, please do me a favor. Call me, text me, email me, do whatever it takes to get me informed just before they are closer to launch so that I can get more involved. My friend called me 8 months later and he said to me, Charles, the CEO of this company wants to talk to all of us, the founders, in 1 week's time. Can you make yourself available? Why not? 1 week later, I hop on the call. And there was Mr. Ash Mofara. Mr. Ash Mofara is the CEO of this company, CEO and founder of this company. Mr. Ash Mofara, for those of us who have been around for some time, we have come to know and love him dearly. Not only because he's going to help us make money, and I can assure you, he will help us make tons of money, but also, and more importantly, because of his heart for humanity. My friends, we have so many geniuses out there. Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, just to name a few. These guys, all of them have the brains, but do they have the heart? I'll leave that up to you. As you come to join us, you're going to find out. Our CEO, not only does he have the brains, but also he has a heart. And that is why most of us leaders resonate with him so very well. But mind you, I was just listening to him for the very first time. And I hop on this webinar, just like this, and Mr. Mofara comes on and he said, folks, we have been making a lot of progress. we are closer to launch than ever before. Now, that statement, I must admit, threw me off, because in my head, I'm thinking, it was just 8 months earlier, I told my friend, we're going to be waiting for over 5 years. Now, all of a sudden, this dude is telling us we are closer to launch. I'm like, whom is he kidding? I know exactly what they're doing. But guess what it did, though? It made me to pay attention. I was listening keenly. And Mr. Mofara went on. We have gone to Bangalore. Now, if you look behind me, you're going to see a building that says OnPassive on it. This building is in high-tech city. It's in Hyderabad. Now, this building was acquired, leased by OnPassive for 9 years back in December of 2020. At that time, this building was non-existent. Mr. Mofara had gone to Bangalore. He had leased 2 floors in a high-rise building. And then he went on. We have hired 200 engineers, the best of the best. And these engineers are working day and night to make sure our dream is realized. So now in my head, I'm thinking most startup companies are going to have 20 to 25 engineers. Most startup companies are going to have these engineers work 8, maybe 9, maybe 10 hours a day. I know, because I've been part of a few of those. When Mr. Mofara goes to the source, right? And when I say source, for those of you who are in IT, you're going to agree with me that Indians are the best in the game. So he goes to the source, and he did not get 20 or 25 engineers. He got 200 of them. And they're not working 8 or 9 or 10 hours a day. They are working around the clock. They are taking turns to make sure this baby is born. So now in my head, I'm beginning to think, okay, with this kind of a resource, yes, you're able to cut time frames. With this kind of a resource, yes, you're able to do in 2-3 years what is supposed to take 5-6 years. So my belief factor goes off the roof. And I'm listening again keenly. He went on, he said, some of you founding members have been unethical. So we're going to come up with a non-disclosure agreement, an NDA for short. When you see those NDAs, you better sign them up, because it's the only way you're going to participate in this great opportunity. 2 months later, Mr. Mofara calls another meeting. Folks, NDAs are out. Go sign them up. I went back, looked up at that document, very long document, and I can assure you, I am not an attorney, not by any stretch of the imagination. But by the time I was done reading that document, it occurred to me that this is serious business. It occurred to me that this is that time I told my friend to call me, text me, email me, okay? I've got to get involved now, because we are about to change the world. We are about to reduce the gap between the poor and the rich. It's a revolution. So I called up my friends to my office. I said, my friends, we are going to have to spread the word. This is massive. So we brainstormed, how are we going to do this? Of course, Zoom. Thanks to technology, with Zoom, all you need is a smart device. It can be a smartphone, an iPad, a laptop, doesn't matter. And then you need data, internet access. Once you have that, good to go. So what is this company I'm talking to you about? I said earlier, OnPassive. And that name was not given by chance. This is a passive opportunity. What does that mean? That means you come in, when we launch, you pay one little small subscription fee. We're going to talk about that later, and you're done. The engineers, the staff members, the managers, the accountants, all the staff of OnPassive are going to go to work on our behalf. And we just fold our arms, money in our bank account, day in, day out. Our CEO and founder, Mr. Ash Mofara, he graduated with a master's in e-commerce. He went back to Harvard, studied online businesses. Now, this guy has a knack for artificial intelligence, AI, that disruptive technology I told you about. This guy is a guru. He's the best in traffic generation. Traffic, my friends, is the reason I can dream today. Traffic, my friends, is the reason we can invite you all to dream with us today. Traffic is so important in any business. It's the most fundamental element of any business. We're going to spend a couple minutes talking about traffic. So what is traffic? Let's say you have a business, and this business can be offline or online, doesn't matter. But let's start with the offline part, because most of us have an age. Most of us are digital immigrants. So we are more used to offline businesses. So let's start there. Say you have a business offline. It doesn't matter what it is. It can be a car dealership. It can be a hair salon or whatever, barber shop, doesn't matter. But let's just say it is a restaurant, only because I love food. And I know at some point in time, all of us have to eat. So you have a restaurant, and I have that exact same restaurant. Same name, same food, same chef. Everything is identical except what? Location. Your restaurant is located in a busy area, in a shopping mall. People come in and out all the time. My restaurant is located in a back alley. It is hidden. Well, your restaurant is going to fare better than mine. And here's why. People are going to come to that shopping center minding their own business. They might be coming there to do their hair, their nails, buy some clothes, window shopping, whatever it is that brings them to that shopping mall. They will eventually get hungry. Look up at your restaurant, wander into your restaurant, and the end result of that is what? Sales. My restaurant, on the other hand, they are going to have to know it is there. They're going to have to leave their homes deliberately to go there. Because of that, it suffers. It suffers from what? People, customers, traffic, right? So what is traffic? People, customers coming in and out of your business. Now, what about online? What is traffic online? But before we go there, I want to say this. In this digital day and age, if you have an offline business, such as the restaurant we just talked about, you better get yourself an online presence. Otherwise, your competition is going to smoke you. Not too long ago, my wife and I were in the middle of nowhere, and we got hungry. And we said, we got to eat, right? So let's Google, right? Restaurants near us. That's it. Looked at a bunch of restaurants popped up, picked one up, went over there. Without that restaurant being online, they would not have had our business. And I can assure you, we were not the only ones like that. Many people are like that. So in this digital day and age, you don't have an online presence, you are smoked. But the reverse is not true. You can have a very successful business online without an offline presence. Typical example, Amazon, the richest company on earth. So what am I saying in essence? Yes, it is true that we have millions upon millions of businesses offline. But it is also true that we have more businesses online, billions of businesses online, and all of these businesses thrive on traffic too. They must have traffic. Without traffic, they're out of business. So what is traffic online? Simple, my friends, clicks. Clicks. If you go online, if you have a business online, the first thing that needs to happen for you to do it, to make a sale, someone has to click on it. No clicks, no sales. The more the clicks, the more the sales. It's that simple. So we have businesses, individuals online. They are making a killing by driving customers to all those billions of businesses online so that they can go click. What is an example of that? Google. I just mentioned it. That's all they do. They make a killing doing that. And there are many others. So the clicks online is very, very important. Now, our CEO and founder is the best in that game. And then we have something called targeted traffic. What is targeted traffic? Say you go online looking for a TV and somebody comes to you and wanders around you and say, hey, Charles, why don't you click here? And then you click there. The moment you click there, all you see are TVs of all kinds, all colors, all prices. What? Chances of you buying? Very high. Why? Because that store carries what you are looking for, and that is called targeted traffic. I am a targeted traffic. Our CEO and founder, Mr. Mofara, that I just mentioned to you guys a few moments ago, is the best in the game of driving targeted traffic. And that's why I said, because of that, we can dream today. He proved himself. When he graduated, he joined a few businesses, got involved with a few businesses, drove a lot of traffic to them. Yes, he made some millions doing that. And these companies also made a lot of money. But most of them went out of business. Why? Remember in the beginning, I said, without viable products, any business is a time bomb. Just a matter of time. So Mr. Mofara and his family, notably his wife, who is also in IT, are going to come together and say, listen, we need to stop doing this. We need to stop driving traffic, sending people, customers, to businesses that are eventually going to go out. We need to start our own. We need to get legitimate, viable digital services. We're going to get founding members, you and I. We're going to drive traffic to them. They make money, we make money, and everybody is what? Happy. Now, that's the birth of OnPassive, my friends. So just over 3 years ago, and I insist, because at that time, there was no pandemic, no COVID-19. These guys were just visionaries. Just over 3 years ago, they're going to sit together and say, listen, we're going to start our own business. We know we have close to 8 billion people on Earth. And statistics show that at any point in time, any minute you go online, you've got about 7 million of those people online doing something, looking for some service. Now, 7 million just over 3 years ago, you can imagine what that number is today with the pandemic, a lot more. But 7 million is still a lot. What kind of services are these people looking for so that we can provide them? Some of us online will do online banking. Online banking, it's a big deal. I do that sometimes twice, 3 times a day. And I know a bunch of you guys do that too. And when we do these things, guess what? Somebody, some business is monetizing on our services. And these guys are going to say, you know what? With artificial intelligence, AI, we can do that too, even better. Some of us online, we are on our favorite social media, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook. I love Facebook. But when we are on Facebook, what are we doing? We are sending texts, photos to friends, family members, colleagues, classmates. Guess what that is called? It is called community. Oh, these guys are going to say, you know what? With AI, we can have our own community, bigger, better. As you come to join us, you're going to find out really soon, really quickly. Our community is over 935,000 strong and growing by the minute. Some of us online were doing e-commerce, email marketing, drop shipping, bulk emailing. Did you guys know that there are people online making 6- and 7-figure income just doing email marketing? Yes, I know that. I thought about that once upon a time. And these guys are going to say, with AI, we can have our own, even better. Some of us online, what are we doing? Video conferencing. If you can see me, you can hear me, or both, it means you went to some application called Zoom, you put in some ID, and there you are. Well, whether you like it or not, the owners, the founders of Zoom are monetizing on our services as we speak. And Zoom, excuse me, is not the only one. Excuse me. We have Skype, we have any meeting, we have Google Hangouts, we have Cisco WebEx, Microsoft Teams. We have a plethora of them, all of them making serious money, especially since the pandemic. But Zoom is the most popular, right? Because why? It is the most user-friendly. But not for long. You guys wait. You wait until we have our own O-Connect. Give me 1 second, guys. 1 second. You wait until we launch our O-Connect. Those of us who have been founders for some time, we have the privilege of seeing a sneak peek of that O-Connect. It is clearer, 3D. It is scalable. It is more secure, end-to-end encrypted. And above all, guess what? Less expensive. Like my friend Mike Ellis always says, at a lower price point. But let's focus on Zoom for today. Why? Because it is still their day until we launch to the public. Prior to COVID-19, Zoom was averaging 10 million participants every day. April 2020, same company took a statistic. That number had risen to over 300 million participants. November ending 2020, Forbes magazine brought out a report. Zoom had made more profits than ExxonMobil, the decades-old American oil company. You guys know why? Well, ever since the pandemic, all universities, every university, middle school, high school, all of them, elementary school, asking students to take classes from home. So parents have to run helter-skelter to figure out what is this Zoom thing so they can help their kids, their children. I have seen pastors, men of God, women of God, having virtual prayer services. I've seen virtual weddings, all kinds of stuff. The world is going virtual, and OnPassive is simply going to help us monetize. Let's talk about another virtual service, VPN, Virtual Private Network. What is that? Just a fancy name for a tunnel. A tunnel that cuts across a major network, such as the internet. Employers use it for privacy. Their employees can access corporate data without fear of hackers, without fear of bad guys. Ever since the advent of COVID-19, more and more companies asking employees to work from home. That means somebody out there is monetizing. Even the federal government is asking employees to work from home. So these guys at OnPassive, they say, you know what? With AI, we can have our own VPN. Super, super smart. Highly secured, end-to-end encrypted. More scalable. And above all, guess what? More affordable. I can assure you, my friends, when OnPassive launches, the big players in the VPN space, like Cisco Networks, they are going to know there is a new sheriff in town. Yes, they will know. Now let's talk about another virtual service, search engine optimization, SEO. That is big. What is that? It's a mouthful. But we know of search engines. We know of Yahoo. We know of Bing. And for those of us Apple enthusiasts, we know of Safari. Now, everybody should know of Google. I just mentioned it. It's like a verb these days, right? Somebody says something to you, you don't know it, Google it. So we all should know of Google. How do they make money? You can go to Google 10 times a day, 100 times a day. It is free of charge. You can go to Google to get one email address, 10 of them, 100 of them, free of charge. We all go to Facebook all the time to use it, right? Free of charge. Sounds like these companies, everything is free. Yet, they are multi-billion-dollar companies, and their founders, their owners are sitting on top of big money. So how do they make that money? Most of us don't know. And frankly, most of us don't even care. But let's talk about how Google makes money, the principal way, the main source of income today. Because OnPassive is going to help us make money the same way, SEO. Say you go to Google now to search for something, and it can be anything. It can be a watch, a phone, doesn't matter. But let's say you are searching for a camera, and I just use that because I have an online store and I do market my cameras through Google. You search for a camera, a bunch of them are going to pop up, and one of them from my store. Well, if you click on that camera from my store, you just costed me money. You don't have to buy it. You don't have to purchase. They call it pay-per-click. So what does Google say? If you're an individual, you're a business, you market something through us, and the customer comes looking for that item, we're going to optimize our search, okay, using technology, bring it to the top. We're going to bring it to the top so that they can see it. Eyeballs. The minute they see it, our job is done. Whether they buy it or not, our job is done. If your item is too pricey for them to buy, your problem. Okay? If your item doesn't have the kind of quality they're looking for, your problem. And they call it pay-per-click. And myself, small business person online, very, very small, almost insignificant, and I'm paying Google averagely $400 a month. Yes, I'm paying Microsoft too. Why am I paying Microsoft? Microsoft, Bill Gates, they bought over a company called Bing. They revamped it. And people like us have to pay him. I'm also paying a company called GoDaddy. What am I paying them for? DNS, domain name service. Every company online has to, first of all, have a domain name. So when you hear xxx.com, .net, .info, all of that are domain names. You must have it. And someone has to host it. Someone is monetizing. And OnPassive is going to help us monetize the same way. DNS. OnPassive is going to have the best search engine optimizer in the internet, online. By the time you type the first character, it already knows where you're headed. It's going to send that traffic to us, you and I. Now, when we hit the block, big players in this space, like Google, like Microsoft, they are going to know there is a new kid on the block. Yes, they will know. So what am I doing, my friends? All I've been doing is explaining to you some of those digital services that OnPassive is putting together. In other words, products. I know some of you are going to say, what are the products? Those are the products. Digital products. The ones that we all use daily. Most of us. But OnPassive is putting together a lot of other products. Virtual education, virtual tracking applications, virtual human resources applications, all of those different products. All I just did was to explain to you the ones that we use most commonly. You don't have to be in a business. You don't have to be employed to know these products or services. We all use them. Now, what is OnPassive doing? Putting together all these products under one umbrella, in one roof. In IT, we call it single sign-on. And here's a big word for you to take home today. They are integrated. No company on earth has ever succeeded in integrating these products. And OnPassive, we are 99% there. My friends, that is value. Remember, I told you guys earlier, at OnPassive, you do not have to recruit or sell to make money. With OnPassive, you do not have to come out of pocket every month to pay an auto ship. And with OnPassive, most importantly, we have the most legitimate, viable digital products in this day and age. If you find a company, you're going to be hard pressed to find a company that has all of these three things. And if you do, I challenge you. You let us know. And all of us on this panel, we will be glad to be your first customer. I can guarantee you that. Okay? Now, with this value, what does it take to become a member at OnPassive today, a founder? Because fortunately for you, we are still in pre-launch, but not for long. What is it going to cost you to become a founder? I told you guys when my friend came earlier, it costed me $97. I am going to let Mr. Redfern, one of the guys who have been here since the beginning. Mr. Redfern understands this business inside out. Okay, there's nobody better than him to explain to you how you can become part of this great company. Red, take it over.
Thank you very much, Charles. And thank you, Susie Landray, Mike Ellis for being here as well. What a presentation. Once again, Charles, you say you like mine, I like yours better. It's crazy. Do you know something? I've been in this business now with OnPassive for around about 3 years, just over 3 years now. I never, ever get bored of hearing what it has to offer the general public out there, and that is us, all us people, the normal people. So you've heard Charles talk about OnPassive. It might have tweaked something that it really has interested you and you want to know a little bit more. So how do you get involved? Quite simply, it's very, very easy. You get back in contact with the person who has invited you here today. They have a thing called a registration link, okay? They will give you this registration link. You click on it and you fill out your details, which is your first name, your last name, and an email. You get that sent off, and then you'll log back in and it will ask you for payment. Now, Charles has already said when he joined, it was $97. When I joined, guess what? It was $97. When Susie joined, guess what? It was $97. So that means for 3 whole years now, the price has still been $97. And you have still got the opportunity to join us on this amazing journey as a founder of OnPassive for that $97 fee. The page will come up and there is various options you can choose to pay via Visa or MasterCard, debit or credit, which is the preferred method because this is instant. As Charles said, there is a $5 charge to make it 102, and this is from the banks, nothing to do with OnPassive. And there's other means as well, depending on your country, cryptocurrency and other means as well. It will all be displayed there when you log in. Now, once you've done that, you're in. And the next thing you will see when you go to log in is that thing that Charles was talking about, which is the NDA. This is a non-disclosure agreement. Now, this is in place for various reasons. One of the reasons is to protect you, the consumer, okay? And the other reason is to protect the company as well. It really goes to show, guys, how serious this company is for the longevity of where we are going in the future. It is a long document, like Charles said. There's a lot of big old words in there. Give it a read. If you want to, you can print it off. You can take it to a legal person before you sign it if you want to. That's absolutely perfect. And that will give you a better understanding of what it all means. But if you're not bothered about that, the same as I was, because I was so excited, I trusted my friend. So I just scrolled all the way down to the bottom. There is 2 check boxes. Click them, okay, and you've got a little square. If you're on a smart device, you can sign it with your finger. If you're on a desktop, you can then digitally sign it as well. That's it. Once you've done that, you are then a founder of OnPassive. You will have access to the back office. This is where all founders go. There is lots and lots of information there, and you can speak to other founders and gain all the information that you need. That is the first one-time out-of-pocket that you have to make with OnPassive. There is another one, the second time, and this is to activate your account when we come to the global launch. And this is coming very, very shortly, guys. And as soon as we get to that global launch period, that is when the OnPassive founders position ceases to exist. After that point, no more founders. This means that you have missed that early bird boat, and then you'll become either a customer or reseller, but not a founder. So it really is imperative that you grab this whilst you can, guys, for that sake of $97. And like I said, to activate this account on the second out-of-pocket payment is going to be around about $200 to $300. So if here you have in the back of your mind, what is the total cost to me? It is going to be around about $250 to $400. That's you done. No more money out of pocket. Why is it no more money out of pocket? Quite simply, because from there on in, we are paying the company of OnPassive to do everything for us. Every subsequent payment will come out of the profits generated by the company, which is commissions to you as a founder, okay? And that will pay for your subsequent monthly payments. So it is an absolute phenomenal system that we have within our grasp here. And all you have to do to take advantage of that is to be a founder. Now, I'd like to leave you with two things to ponder over. Now you've heard about Charles, okay, what OnPassive can do for you. I'm going to give you a couple of more things to think about, to maybe help you to grasp hold and become a founder. Now, Charles was on about some brilliant minds around there in the internet space, and there is some brilliant ones. And one of those guys, who is the richest person on earth, okay, is Jeff Bezos. I almost said Elon Musk. Well, he's pretty close, isn't he, really? But it's Jeff Bezos, and he owns Amazon. And actually, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and Richard Branson have all had this tit for tat going on. I want to be the first person in space. And so they're pouring billions upon billions of dollars into me. I want to be number one and first. So off they go, shooting up into the air, having their little jollies with their billionaire friends and all the rest of it. They come back down to earth. And Jeff Bezos, very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Arrogant,
Jeff Bezos,
arrogant. You're looking
arrogantly,
arrogant.
that's
Exactly.
the word I'm looking for. He said, when he got out of his plane, didn't he? He said, I would like to thank my customers and my employees for giving me the money to be able to do this. How absurd is that? If he could listen to himself, everyone was laughing. But the other little fact I want to bring out to you about this guy, who is the richest man in the world and has the largest online company in the world, is, did you know that in the 23 years of their existence, they have produced 40,000 millionaires? Now, nobody knows about this. Why does nobody know about it? Because he wants to keep it all for himself. We have a CEO and founder called Ash Mufareh, who wants to give the majority of all of the profits away to us, the founders of OnPassive, the 930,000 that are here right now. He wants to make us successful. Just imagine in the years to come how many millionaires will be coming out of OnPassive. And you have the chance today to be part of that for $97. I really do hope that you do jump on board, get back in contact with the person who has invited you here today. The last thing I'm going to leave you with, guys, is your decision today is going to have an impact on you, your family, and your friends in 2 years' time. Everything that you do has an impact down the line. Make that decision today, that $97, to change not only your financial, personal position of where you're going to be in 2 years' time, but your friends, your family, and your immediate circle. You will not regret this, guys. We are here. We are a business that is ethical, legal, and legitimate. And all we are saying is, come on board. That is it. Over to you, Susie.
Well, thank you, Red. That was wonderful. Always good to hear you. And Charles, that was an excellent presentation. I'd like to say a few things and then we'll get Mike Ellis to maybe chime in with a few of his points, which are always insightful. I put in the chat, I've opened it up. If you would like a copy of today's presentation, please send an email to onpassivenation@gmail.com. Please don't put your email in the chat. It's much better for you to initiate it, send it, and you will get a link to this webinar. The second thing is, how are we going to do Q&A today? If you are a guest, this is for guests. If you are a guest today and you have a question, please raise your hand. Once I see your hand raised, I will bring you onto the panel. I'll ask you to unmute yourself. Your screen's going to change and you'll be right here with us and you can ask your question. Also, if you're being a little shy today, you can type down in the chat if you do have a question. So I'm going to start bringing some people in, and Mike Ellis is joining us today. He's on our Leadership Council. He understands the business as well. I don't think any questions are going to stymie anyone on the panel. So Mike, if you'd just like to add a few words, that would be great.
Yeah, Susie, I'll say a couple of little things while you're bringing people in. Charles, excellent presentation. Absolutely love everything that you say. And there are a couple of things in there that kind of raise my eyebrow. And when you talk about the list that you came to with OnPassive and how you had to check off the boxes before you would actually look at OnPassive, we all have our different lists that we look at as we're looking at an opportunity or really anything in life. And Charles really marked off all of those questions that I had and probably that you had. And when you can do that, it just makes it much more easier to come in and start participating with OnPassive. And Charles talked about changing the world and how is OnPassive going to be doing that? As you come into OnPassive, regardless of who you are, whether you have a ton of experience online or none whatsoever, you're coming into OnPassive and you're getting the opportunity to build an income, build a residual income, and build wealth online. And for most people throughout the world, because again, OnPassive is a worldwide company, you're going to be able to come in and actually start meeting those financial needs that we all have. So important. And really, this was the goal of Ash Mufareh as he started to develop and build OnPassive, to structure it in a way that we all have the ability to come online and make a difference for ourselves, with our family, and with our community. Truly extraordinary what Ash and his team have done. Charles, you did an excellent job of explaining OnPassive. As you come in, become a founding member, and if you don't, you should. This is something you will never find again in your lifetime. Continue to explore OnPassive, because as you do that, you're going to get these little nuggets every single day about OnPassive. And I can tell you it gets better and better and better. Everybody here on the panel that have been in for a while, they're bonkers right now because we're at a place. October is going to be a very, very exciting month. Come on in, become a founding member, and get ready to change everything in your life. Go ahead, Susie.
Yes, thank you so much for your insight, Mike. We appreciate it. I put in the chat, if you want a copy of today's webinar, send an email to onpassivenation@gmail.com. Also, if you want to look at the products, go to onpassive.com. All the products are listed there. There's frequently asked questions, there's videos, a wealth of education if you go there. So we do have someone, a guest, Pallavi. Hi, how are you? Do you have a question for the panel?
Yes, I do have a question for my community actually, because they are quite right now confident, more confident the day as are going on, and they are just asking us a little question that what is the actual subscription amount is going on, that somehow because I'm from India and the dollar amount is kind of huge can be. So they are just asking one question that each and every webinar which what I supposed to do for my community, and they're just asking that what is the actual amount? Is it within $250 or it's can be higher? That's the only one question, because they have no any kind of question with the working process or the any kind of things, because they're absolutely so much confident and attending towards the daily basis of webinar, the concept of OnPassive working mode and the growth and the processing is it's a touching almost the higher. And I'm always admire all of you. I really thanks to Charles sir, because you are completely step by step understand all the things which is actually OnPassive is trying to do. And I always told each and everyone that OnPassive is a problem solving solution for the business personnel.
Okay, Pallavi,
So,
this
yeah,
is
please,
yeah,
sir.
yeah, this is a guest webinar, and we understand your question. If the cost for the subscription when we launch has not been solidified, it will range between $200 and $300 US. Okay, we
Okay,
have some
thank
other
you.
yes. So thank you for coming on, but like we said, this is for
Yeah,
our
I'm
guests.
happy to be
Let
part
me
of
just
that.
add to that, okay, Susie, thanks.
Okay, yeah.
Because some founders, some guests too may be thinking, so what is the exact cost? That's fine. Nothing proprietary about that. So our CEO at this point in time has said between $200 to $300. Now, I want everybody to keep in mind, he could easily say $300. He could say that, right? But why is he saying between 200 to 300? He's trying to make it as affordable as possible. And this is all based on the company overhead. They want to find out exactly what OnPassive is going to need as overhead so that they don't overcharge or undercharge. They don't want to overcharge us by even $1. Now, if I were you, since your founders, your community keep asking in India, just tell them $300. That way, it's less, right? They have some money in their pocket. Simple.
Absolutely, yes. That
Okay.
is the actually I'm put them that $250. You just guys the rest of the period trying to collect all the money that when it's got to open, and you just put the money and got free. So that is my point too. Okay, thank you.
No
Thank you.
problem. And we have a
Okay.
founders only meeting on Monday. Okay. I know it's kind of late in India, right? But to tell you the truth, anybody who is serious, they'll just set an alarm. Okay. And then come to that founders only meeting where we can take more of these kind of questions and then encourage
I
your
know that.
people to be
I
part
know
of
that.
it. Okay.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
All right, Pallavi.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, we have Adimola. You have your hand raised and you're unmuted.
Yeah.
Welcome as a guest. You no, not you. We have
Yeah. Thank you so much for
Adi-
inviting me. Like
no,
actually,
no,
I am a founder from.
oh,
I am a founder.
okay. Hang on,
You able
hang
to
on.
hear?
Thank you very much.
No, hang on. I'm going to mute you. We have someone else who's on as a guest asking a question. This is for
Thank you.
guests
Thank you
only.
very much.
Okay. All right. I'm going to mute you for a second. Hang on. Okay. Adimola, are you a guest or are you a founder?
I'm a guest.
Okay. Welcome. Do you have a question for the panel?
Yes, I want to say I'm impressed with the presentation by Charles, but I have a question. The question has to do with the fact that when things like this are starting, you see there are people who actually want to duplicate your efforts. What efforts are we making to make sure that we don't have competitors or potential competitors that will bring down the progress of this OnPassive?
Would someone like to respond to that?
Oh yeah, I'll take
Go ahead,
that.
Charles.
First of all, competition is a great thing. Okay, my friend. We are not stopping anyone from competing. We are protecting our company secrets, like protecting it with everything that we have. Okay, that's why you signed the NDA. Okay, now when somebody like Google was starting, Of course, they did not present, Yahoo was already there, right? Google did not say, let's protect anybody else from coming up. Now, you just make sure your technology is better. Before Zoom came to the market, we had Skype, we had other ones. There's nothing anybody can do about competition. Just make your stuff better, okay? If anybody wants to come and integrate what we are doing, which has never been done before, good luck to them, okay? Bring on the competition, my friend. We don't need to be worried about all of that, okay?
Okay, thank you, Charles. Was that your only question, Adimola? You are muted. Is that your only question? I
Fine.
believe so.
That's fine.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Thank you for
Alright.
the question and thank you for joining us.
Alright.
Raj, if you are a founder, this is for guests only, okay? So we're going to change you back to an attendee. Okay, we have Kim. Kim, if you would like to unmute yourself and ask your question. Hi, Kim.
Yes.
Can you, yes, we can hear you. Are you a guest?
Yeah, but I am a guest from Cameroon.
Oh, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk to you from Cameroon. I was invited by a friend, Willie, who is the founder already. Yeah, so he knows I'm also an IT person who is on digital marketing. I have some few products online already. So when he presented me this opportunity, I found it to be a great one. So I will just ask a little question. I'm not yet registered. I've not yet paid for the $70 or the $97 yet, but I think it's a good idea and I'm going to subscribe. So I have this question. As of now, can we measure when the project is going to start actively? Do we have a clue of the exact starting date? That
Okay.
is my first question.
Okay, before we get to that answer, I need to excuse myself. I have to bring someone to the airport. So thank you everyone for joining us today. I'm sure the panel will help bring other people on and answer your questions. Okay, thank you so much.
Thanks, Susie. Drive safe, okay? We need you.
Red, go ahead and
Okay,
answer that question.
Red,
Red,
the
go ahead
question
and
is all
answer it.
yours. It looks like he's frozen.
Okay, you need to realize if you're from the IT background now, Rosen, am I okay now?
Yeah,
Yes,
you're
yes.
okay.
Okay. You're obviously from the IT background and you understand that new projects that are launched take a process. And part of the process is to develop the business, to get the infrastructure behind it and all the coding, the products and everything in place to date. The stage that we're at right now is we're probably around about 95% of as far as launching to the general public. We have got a lot of product place, all the legalities have been done. And what we are looking towards now is to start beta testing the products and services so that they are fit for purpose. Now, we haven't got an exact date because, as you well know, there's no point in giving an exact date because when we come to the beta test stage, what happens if something breaks? It has to be repaired, it has to be made better, etc. So before we get to the launch date time, we have to make sure that the products that we're going to launch with are fit for purpose. We are on track, and this is all I can say to you, and this is only my belief, by the way, of what I've been reading between the lines, is we are still on track for our main launch this year. Now, that might change, okay? I don't know, the same as Mike Ellis doesn't know, and Charles, and Landry, and the other people on the panel here. We don't know for sure when that date is going to be, but one thing for sure is we are very, very close. So I keep saying the same thing. Right at this moment, it is imperative to join as a founder, because that founder's position will close when we go to main launch. It might even close before that. We haven't been told exactly. So if you want to be an early bird founder, okay, then secure that position, like Mike Ellis always says. And for $97, it really is a pittance to be part of a company that is going to be so big in the future. There is always somebody, by the way, who will answer any of your questions. We are not shying away by any means from any questions from any guests on here at all. And if you have any more, please ask them out. And I hope that's helped a little bit to answer your question.
Thank
Okay.
you for your answer, sir. Thank you so much.
Well,
Okay.
my friend, also, when you become a founder today, and I hope you will, okay, we have founders
Yes,
only
sir.
meeting on Mondays, every Monday, 2 p.m. Eastern, which is 7 p.m. Cameroon time, okay? You can come to that meeting
Okay.
and you will know a lot more and you will be happy. And by the way, it's a good thing we haven't launched yet. Otherwise, you won't be here, right? So we have a very, very short window. And I'm telling everybody, the founders, bring your guests. I am telling you, this train is about to take off at high, high speed, right? And that window will be finally shut for founders, okay? So come on Monday and you'll find out more, okay?
Okay, right.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Are you okay, Kim?
I'm very okay. I'm okay.
Thank you very much. All right. We have Barry Thomas. Barry Thomas, will you like to unmute yourself and ask a question?
Yes, hello, gentlemen, and great presentation. Has me fired up. I'm not a techie person or into IT a whole lot, but I do follow that OnPassive is trying or will do what Google and all the other search engines companies are doing. And it always bewildered me how those companies develop, and I knew it wasn't overnight and how they make money. But one thing that I really want to understand a little bit more, Charles, you mentioned a VPN. That kind of, I know that's part of digital products, is it? And how you optimize things? What exactly is a VPN? And also, is OnPassive a corporation of some sort? And I think I missed where the headquarters is, where it's out of. Could you kind of elaborate on those things for me, please?
Okay. VPN is acronym for Virtual Private Network, okay? That's what the VPN is. Now, you don't have to be an IT person or a techie person. You don't have to understand how it operates, right? Because behind the scenes, we have engineers that use something called VPN concentrator, right? And they make it happen. You don't need to know any of that. You don't even need to know how VPN works, right? So it's a virtual private network. It's like a tunnel, right? It cuts through a network. So right now you are sitting on the internet. Because of the internet, you use Zoom, right? Without internet, you cannot use Zoom. Without internet, we cannot use VPN. So once we have that VPN, it's protected and employers use it. For example, you can be working with the federal government, right? You work from home. So how do you work from home without going to the office? You have to connect to the office network. And how do you connect to the office network? You can't do that in the internet because then you are exposed to bad guys, hackers. So they use a VPN to protect that connection. That's all it is. OnPassive is going to be providing that service. You and I don't need to know how it works. You and I don't need to do anything about it because OnPassive is going to put it on our website, right? That, hey, we provide VPN. And those corporations, those people that need the service are going to come to your website and say, hey, we need this service. Once they get that service, guess what? Wherever you are in the beach, if you're like me, money in your bank account. You see what I'm saying? Now that's what VPN is, one of the services. Now, where's the corporate office? In Florida. Yes, we are registered in Florida. We are registered in India. Everywhere that we have an office, we have a registration. Okay. So we are a global company, just like Facebook. Facebook is all over the world, right? But they don't have to register in every country. You can just register wherever you have a presence, like a office building and people working there. That's all. And we have that also. Hope that answers your question. Okay. Any other question? Any hands up? Larry, can you bring the people up? You're muted, Larry.
there, Larry.
You're muted.
Sorry, Charles. What happened was I tried promoting a few people. They declined promoting them to panel. So I lowered their hand. While the only person that was left then was Vera. I've tried to promote her repeatedly, but she's not coming on board. So let me try Marianne. I'm promoting Marianne now to panelists. And Tia Obaze as well. Okay. All right. So now we have Vera. Okay. Please, Vera, unmute yourself. Vera, are you there?
So Vera, Vera, you are muted. If you look on your screen underneath at the bottom to your left, you see a button that says mute. Just click on it. There you go.
Oh, hi. Yeah. Well, I think my question was asked. I want to know, was there a deadline to become a founder? And if I'm understanding, so that OnPassive is a protection company. It protects from hackers, from people that wants to start a website.
Now, Vera, I don't know if you're here from the beginning. Were you here from the beginning?
No.
Okay, that's why. So send an email to OnPassive Nation. I think Susie put that on the chat many times. We can just do it again. And that way, we're going to send you a recording of this presentation. But OnPassive is not a protection company. Okay? OnPassive just provides a lot of services put together, okay, to businesses, individuals. You're going to hear that in the presentation.
Thank you.
Are you okay? Are you okay, Vera?
So the email is on the chat, okay? It says onpassivenation@gmail.com. You send email there that I want the recording of today's webinar, right? And we are going to send it to you. They can listen to it. And if you have any question, feel free to ask. If you become a founder before Monday, 2 p.m. Eastern, right? You can join our founders only meeting for people who are founders. And we give out a lot of information. We talk about our launching process, where we are and what to expect. And then we'll take questions until there is no more question. Okay?
All right, thank you.
We do that every Monday.
All right.
All right.
Okay. Is that all right? Okay. Is that okay with you, Vera?
All right, thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
Charles, welcome. Can I just say something for all the guests that are here as well? Listen, I'm not a tech guy. I'm a chef. Okay. Now, when I walk into a room, I open the door and I switch a light on because I know that there's going to be electricity and the light's going to be going on. When I put the TV on, I hit the remote and the TV goes on. So I don't worry about how it happens, why it happens. I just know it's going to happen because that's what happens. OnPassive is very similar as far as we as founders is concerned. They have developed these digital products and services for all sorts of people out there who actually want them. You as a founder, it makes no difference whether you understand it, whether you know about it or anything like that, because at the end of the day, every time you switch that light on, you know you're going to get paid. So you don't have to know how it works, what it's meant to do, where it comes from or anything like that. All you know is it works. OnPassive is exactly the same. We are given the opportunity as a founder to participate. And in return for our participation at the moment in this pre-launch stage, we will get commissions from customers who know what they want. They want this product. They pay for this product. guess what? If they click on your link that OnPassive will mark it for you on your behalf, you get a commission. So every time you switch that switch on, you get a ka-ching. That is all I need to know. I don't want to know how it works. I don't want to know who's done it, made it, all of this lot. All I want to know is I'm in and I am going to get paid. And that is really for the non-techie out there. And that's all you need to know.
Thank you, Red. Thank you, Red. Thank you, Charles. Now, please, if you have been promoted to the panel, that means you should be a guest. This is a guest webinar. Remember, there's founders only webinar, 2 p.m. Eastern on Monday. So please, this is a guest webinar and the Q&A session is for the guests. Rita, please go ahead, Rita Apojaro.
Hi, everybody. Great to be here. It's been an awesome webinar, honestly. I was really skeptical when I received the invitation from my friend. That was like maybe 3 months ago or something. And hearing all of what I've heard today, I'm really excited, but I'm still a bit skeptical. And the reason is I have been into the network stuff, okay, and got my fingers burnt. So coming on this platform, hearing about the IT thing, I know nothing, absolutely nothing about what you have just explained, but Red had made it, he has made it easy for me being a novice in the IT world, okay? But I still need to understand, I did not get that aspect from him very clearly. When I sign up or when I join, which I hope to do before the weekend runs out, do I need to get customers? He talked about, when they click on and, he's being paid, that's what he's interested in. Do I need to get customers, as it were, on the platform for me to get this commission? That's my question.
Okay, thank you, Rita. Any of the
I
leaders?
think Mike Ellis want to take that. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, let me start it and then Charles and Red can jump in. No, you don't have to get any customers whatsoever. As you come in and we launch to the world, OnPassive is going to go to work for all of us. They're going to do all the work. That's why we come in and pay them. That's what we're paying them to do. And they're going to manage everything. As they bring customers in, they're going to bring them in, they're going to make the sale, and then they're going to manage them in your organization, Rita. So as OnPassive brings in customers for you, manages all of these customers for you, you're going to get a commission from each customer that lands in your organization. And there will be a ton of them because it's what OnPassive does, and our market is so large and we have so many IT products, informational technology products. So as you look at OnPassive, it is 100% automated for you. OnPassive, we're paying them to go to work for us. And as we do that, we benefit from what they're doing for us. We actually start putting money in the bank. That's what OnPassive was built for. It was built for you and I so that we can build an income online. Hopefully that helped. Charles and Red can state anything that I missed.
No, you didn't miss anything, Mike, but I just wanted to tell Rita that if she was here from the beginning,
I was.
Okay, you would have heard me say, if I cannot recruit or sell to even one person, and I make a lot of money, right? Not small money, a lot. And the answer was, yes, you will make a lot. That's why I joined. If I had to sell or bring customers, I wouldn't be in this business. I can assure you that. And the reason for that is that it is not duplicatable. That's why you failed. I heard you say that you failed in a lot of network marketing stuff. You know why? Because you don't know how to recruit. You don't know how to sell. That's why you fail. And that's what Ash has corrected, right?
Okay.
That's why we're excited. Super excited. Okay.
So one last question. I just missed that out. What's the benefits, or what is there anything coming to me for bringing people in? What's the catch in bringing people in?
So now you want to bring people in because you don't have to. See, that's a good thing about this business. But yes, guess what? all of us are founders. All of us are going to be customers when the company launches, right? All of us. That's why that second payment that we pay when we launch, that makes you into a customer, all of us. So if you, first of all, Zig Ziglar says, you help enough people get what they want, you eventually get what you want. Number one, you just found out about this opportunity. If your friend didn't tell you, you won't find out about it. So your friend, I don't know if it's a male or female, is going to be the only one benefiting, or without you benefiting. So we love our friends, we love our family members. If I am rich today and my family is poor, believe it or not, I have to help them out, right? So I should change myself. Number one, I want to bring them in so that they can make their own money. But what the company has done is, when you bring them in, they become founders. Upon launch, they also become customers. So what happens is, you have already started your customer base before OnPassive goes to work for you. So OnPassive is going to go to work, giving you more customers. So the person that has 0 customers before launch, or 0 founders, if you want to look at it that way, they wait, AI starts to work, bringing them customers, right? Now, if I go to launch with 1,000 customers, I talk to 10, we'll talk to 10, we'll talk to 20, we'll talk to 30. Before you know it, I have 1,000 in my team. That means upon launch, I already have 1,000 customers from whom I can start getting paid before OnPassive AI traffic goes to work. So yes, there is a benefit for sharing. 2 benefits. Number one, you have those people reduce their poverty, right? That's number one. Number 2, you make money faster. You get to your financial goals faster than somebody who has nobody.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Rita, are you excited?
I am really excited, yeah.
Sure, so please, you said you will consider joining by this weekend.
Right.
I give you a thumbs up for that. If you do, remember, there's an important meeting on Monday. We call it Founders Only Meeting. It happens at 2 p.m. Eastern, where we get to dig deeper and deeper into our business. So we see you on Monday. Thank you. I will be there. All right. You're welcome. You're welcome. The next person is Miriam Megu. Unmute yourself, Miriam. Miriam, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, please. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hi. This is Miriam calling from Maryland. I'm honored to be here with you guys. That was a nice presentation, first of all. And I just wanted to know more. Actually, the lady who just spoke before me asked a couple of questions that I wanted to ask. With regards, let's say I'm already registered, actually. I'm registered already. Yeah, I'm registered, but I wanted more questions because I am.
Hold on, Marianne. Have you paid? Have you paid?
Yeah, yes.
How long ago was that?
I think it should be more than 2 months.
Okay, can you come on Monday, right? This webinar is for guests. So on Monday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to take all your questions. You have 20 questions, put them on, just list them. We're going to take all of them, okay?
I still feel like a guest today because it's my first time, right? Or I'm not?
Oh, is it your first webinar? Okay, go ahead with your question.
Okay, yes. So I wanted to find out how to multiply my chances. I know you explained a little bit of that. Let's say I've been registered, me and my husband. So if we have more people that want to register, let's say our kids, how do we place them?
Okay, that's a founder only question. That's why I said come. So a guest question is something about the concept, right? The technicalities of the business. Because guess what? That question that you just asked, a lot of founders may have that in their head also, right?
Okay.
So when you ask that on Monday and we explain it, everybody gets it.
Okay.
Right? For now, we just want our guests to understand the concept. You get it?
I get it.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Thank you so much.
All right, Marianne. Thank you. All right, Marianne. Let's make it a date, Monday, 2 p.m. Eastern, and that'll be a founders only meeting. Now, the next person is Tinyan Obazi. Tinyan, are you there? Tinyan, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, this is Tian from Dallas, Texas. I was in the meeting the last time, but I just registered today. No, I'm not a founder. I'm not a founder. I just registered not quite long, just about 30 minutes ago.
Okay, great.
But they sent a message that my payment was not. Let me check the message. That the payment was not going through, but when I logged in, the dashboard came up.
Okay, that means it went through. Well, how did you pay? Credit card, debit card?
Yes, with my card, with my credit card.
So that means it went through. So if the payment went through and you log in, you will see a blue screen that's the NDA. Did you sign that one?
I didn't get you, sir.
Once the payment goes through and you log in, you will see a blue screen, which is the NDA for you to sign. Did you sign that one?
Yes, I did sign. Yes.
Okay,
sir.
so you're fine. Your payment went through. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So come on Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern, right?
Okay. What about when I'm about to join? When I'm about to sign someone in, how do I go about that?
Are you about to sign someone in today or before Monday?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So today, because she's busy. That's why she didn't join the meeting. Hello.
Yeah, Charles, you kind of froze up a little bit. All you have to do is go into your back office, go ahead and log in, and then go to your links. And down at the bottom, there's a registration link. That's the link you want to give to your friends to sign up in your organization. Really, really simple.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. All right.
Congratulations for coming on board.
Address, you send it to them, okay? But we go through these things on Monday. The only reason I'm saying that is because you want to sign somebody up before Monday, right? We will go through this on Monday at 2 p.m. We have some founder who is going to walk you through your back office, the basic things that you need to know.
Okay, 2 p.m. my time, Dallas time.
1 p.m. Dallas time.
Okay, okay. Because I came in late today, I didn't know.
Yeah, okay. Well, now you know.
Thank
1
you so
p.m.
much.
1 p.m. Dallas time. Today it is 10 a.m. Dallas time every Saturday, 10 a.m.
Oh, I entered 11.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. See you on Monday, Tinyan. Take care of yourself.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right. All right.
The link will be in your back office. The link, I don't know if the person that brought you in, have they put you into one of our group chats?
No.
Okay.
No.
So that's because you may not be aware that we're going to have.
You're froze up again, Charles.
Council.
Red, you want to finish that statement?
Red is not here.
Oh, okay. You froze up. You froze a little bit.
Yes, I didn't hear anything. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in your back office on Monday, right? When you log in, where you see that dashboard, click on webinars. It will have the link for that Monday meeting. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much. Okay.
All right, Tia. See you on Monday. Olaitan Mutiu. Olaitan Mutiu, can you unmute yourself? Olaitan Mutiu. Olaitan Mutiu. Olaitan, are you there? Olaitan Mutiu, I'll go to Barry. Barry, do you have another question for us? I saw your hand up.
Yeah. I was wondering, I think I got my question answered. When I become a founding member, is that the only time I can invite people to the presentation, or can I share the video, copy of the video?
Okay, you can share right now, but here's the problem. If they decide to join, they're not going to be in your team.
Okay.
So what I would do if I were you, right as you hang up from here, just become a founder so that you can have a link. You can share the video and say, hey, listen to this video. If you're interested, here's my link.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you, sir.
All right then. Okay then. Mutiu, can you go ahead? Olaiton, meet yourself and go ahead. Olaiton, are you there? Olaiton, you did unmute yourself recently. Can you do it again? Somewhere below your device, below the screen on the left, you say, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, well done. Well done, sir. And the question is, if I may ask, if somebody has 2 accounts, probably I registered 2 accounts for myself and I signed the DNA. So I want to
Olaiton,
ask,
are you a founder? Olaiton, are you a founder?
Yes.
So,
yes.
So what part of this is a guest webinar only do you not understand? We've said it like a gazillion times that we have founder only webinar on Monday, right? Where we go into technicalities and we take questions from everybody. Sometimes it takes us 5 hours. And this is for our guests.
I'm sorry about that. Okay, I'll wait till
thank
then.
you.
Thank you very much, Olaiton. So see you on Monday. 1 minute, Charles. I think there's 1 or 2 hands up. Yes, I have Angela Ombagala and OPOAIP. Please, Angie, I think, I believe you're a guest, though your name looks a bit familiar. Angie, are you there?
Yes, yes, I'm here.
Are you a guest, please?
No, I'm not a guest. I'm a founder. I just want
to
pass a message right quick, please, because I've noticed that we have a lot of people who want to go ahead and register people in the team, and they want to assist to the meeting that we have today. If they don't want to wait until Monday, if they speak French, they can join us today at 2 o'clock Eastern time, and we'll be able to guide them through how to register the family members and loved ones. That's all I wanted to say.
Okay, Ange, can you put a link, the link for the guest webinar in French today?
It's not
just put in the chat.
It's the founders meeting that I'm.
Yeah. The founders only webinar is in French
for
today.
French people. Yeah.
Right. So those French speaking folks, unfortunately, we cannot put it up here. I don't know if you want to put your contact so that they can contact you and get the link.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And then you add them to the group, please.
Perfect. Well, thank you. That's all.
All right.
Okay. Then. All right. Then let's go to OPPOA1K. Please unmute yourself. OPPOA1K. I guess that's your device name. Oh, it's out. The person is out. 1 minute. Let me get somebody else in. Okay. We have only one. Lena. We have Lena. It's only one remaining task. Lena, are you there?
Okay, it looks like
Charles, you want?
Yeah, we might be
You
done.
want to
Lena
help me
is
with
not
Lena?
coming up. Let me see.
Yeah,
I
it's
can
not
bring
coming.
Lena up.
Lena is not coming up. I've been doing that a couple
Lena
of
is
times.
up. Lena is up.
Okay. All right. Lena, please go ahead. Unmute yourself, Lena. Lena, can you unmute yourself?
I didn't raise up my hand. If my hand is raised, which means it was a mistake because I'm a founder. I'm so sorry.
Okay, all right.
It's okay.
It's all right.
Thanks.
Okay.
See you on Monday.
See you on Monday.
Charles. Okay, Mr.
All right,
Charles.
guys. I think we're
We've
done.
come to the end. Yes.
Okay. All right. So those of you who are guests, jump on board. Don't sit on the fence. Okay. The time is running out, and we have another guest webinar on Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central for those of you who are in Central, those in Dallas, for example. And that's for guests. Again, the idea is you become a founder. The window is very, very short. You have loved ones that you want to extend the favor to. We do you the favors. We are going to be here, all of us, on Tuesday again to explain it to your loved ones, okay? On Monday is Founders Only. On Tuesday is guest webinar, just like this one, okay? So guys, have a great weekend. Those of you who are founders, those of you who are going to be founders before Monday, see you on Monday, okay? And it's exciting times. These are exciting times for those of us who are founders because things are happening in a hurry, okay? We always have updates. We have updates to give you on Monday. And I'm pretty sure those updates will render you sleepless, okay? So do not miss out. Have a great weekend. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Mike, for always assisting. Your
Andre,
wisdom,
Charles,
your
great
knowledge
job.
is always appreciated. Thank you, Larry, and I'll see you guys Monday. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.